This is my Toyota Celica, and it's come a very long way since we first got the car. But I have a vision that I'm trying to reach. One of the things that I'm after is having a complete TRD body kit. Now these body kits are pretty rare and they were an optional extra on Celicas when they were new, and since they were made by Toyota, they fit perfectly. If you compare the TRD body kit compared to a standard Celica, it's clear that the TRD kit is way more sporty, way more aggressive, and very stylish, and it's my favorite body kit for the Toyota Celica. A while ago, I made a video about how I repaired a TRD wing that I found, but unfortunately, it looks like those repairs haven't stood up as well as I hoped they would. The TRD wing is one of the most eye-catching pieces of the whole kit, and finding another one would be very, very difficult and expensive. So to save this one, instead of gluing it back together, I have another idea. What's up, guys? So today's video, we're working on the wing today. So if you remember before, I made some wing stands. Hold on a minute. Isn't this my first time making wing stands? Well, no. This is actually my second attempt because my first attempt actually only lasted about half a year. So let me give you a quick summary of what those first wing stands look like to make. Today what we're dealing with is the wing. It's very unfortunate, but it started to crack the other day. It actually started cracking about a couple months ago. It looks real bad from underneath, but the top is still pretty good. It's starting to crawl up right here, but yeah, this is my temporary fix. I just taped this in place so that it would stop bending down. Today, we're not gonna actually fix the cracks. We're gonna be building some stands to go on both sides. And I'm cutting up some cardboard to make some templates. And then the plan is we're gonna make it out of this acrylic plastic I got. So I'm using my old contour gauge. We used this when we were initially fixing the wing, and I haven't touched it since then. Line this up and then trim this off. Look at that. Fits really good. I'm gonna try and put them right where the cracks are, because these are the weakest parts. And this is kind of how it's gonna look. This feels like it just turned into arts and crafts, because I'm gonna be using hot glue to glue these pieces together. And then once these are together, I can hold it up to the car and then cut the shape for the bottom. But the bottom is like a flat part, but it's at an angle, so I'll need to glue this like this, and I'm putting two pieces together so that it's a bit more rigid. Okay, so I have one stand built out of cardboard, and it's already fixed the shape of the wing. Right here is where it was like dipping down the most, so I think this is good enough. I think I can use this to build the real thing out of the acrylic. My only issue is I've never worked with this material before, and I wanted it to not look very obvious. That's why I got like a clear material. We're gonna trace it out and then cut it. Okay, so I've snapped two pieces so far, and these are going to be like the tops and the bottoms. As you can see, it's a really simple design. We've got all the pieces cut out, and now the top plate and the bottom plate are going to be stuck in place using double-sided tape, and the large centerpiece I'm going to glue to the top and bottom plates using some clear plastic epoxy. So this is how version 1 looked like, all said and done. It's all glued together, and it got a little bit messy, but it worked. It worked for the time being, and it solved my problem. Of course, it didn't last too long, but I didn't know that at the time. What ended up happening was the glue that I used ended up getting really brittle and yellow in the sun, so much that it lost all of its grip and the pieces just fell out of place. This brings us back to where we are today. For the center of the wing, because this wing, when I got it, it was broken in half, and I kind of fixed it, but not very well, because it started to crack from where it was broken. So originally I made these base plates on the top as well, and I have these in place with double-sided tape, and it's very strong, it's very rigid, but the actual stand I had glued to this piece, and that glue, I guess, it didn't bond very well to this plastic, and one day I bumped into them while I was cleaning the car and they just fell off. So luckily I still have them. Here they are. I thought about putting them back and just gluing them again, but I didn't want to do that because I really don't like how the glue turned to yellow in the sun. So this is pretty much how I had it before, and it worked really well when it was stuck down, but yeah, I bumped into it and it fell out of place. So we're gonna try and remove all this glue and reuse this piece because they're still the right shape, so I'm gonna need these. So instead of gluing it back, I decided I'm gonna make some supports on the side that's gonna hold this instead of the glue. So we're gonna be using the same material. This is all the leftover acrylic plastic that I had from the first attempt. So this should be enough to make what I'm trying to make. Okay, here's a better explanation. So here's the clean piece, the stand put in place, and here are some cardboard templates. So this is what we're gonna build. We're gonna build these right angle pieces, put them on each side. We're going to double side tape them to the bottom bracket, and we're going to drill holes sideways to bolt them together with the middle piece. And I think that's going to be really strong, probably, maybe, but I think it's going to look a lot better than the glue that we used before. So it should be pretty simple. The hardest part is going to be making the top side because it's curved instead of flat like the bottom. So I'm not sure how I'll attempt that. But for now I'm just going to make bottom pieces. So this is what I'm going to be using to help me make the bends. We're going to take our piece and half of it's going to be on one side, and we're going to use some of the blocks to press it down. Okay, so now we have it set up. So we're gonna heat this up, and then once it's hot, we're gonna use this piece to fold it upwards and lay flat against here. I accidentally heated it a little too hot, and you can see it made some bubbles, but it looks pretty good otherwise. So now we're just gonna do that 4 more times, or 3 more times. Okay, now we have all of the bottom corner pieces bent, and they look pretty good. This one I kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's still okay. This side I've already trimmed to make it fit on the top of the plate, but these ones I haven't trimmed yet, and you see they're overhanging a little bit, and because it's such a small amount, I can't like snap it off. So we're gonna be using the angle grinder, and this is a diamond blade. You don't need a diamond blade, but this works a lot better in my opinion. And I also just had it laying around, so I'm just gonna try to get it as close to matching this bottom plate the way these are, so it looks more seamless. So to glue down these corner brackets, I'm using this 3M clear tape. It's double-sided, and it's really strong stuff. This is the same stuff I used when I first put the original plates down, and they haven't turned yellow, so I'm pretty confident that it's a good choice. And it's really strong. So now I've got all the corners put in, and I've trimmed. Where is it? Yeah, I've trimmed the tops of the plate of the standing plates. So now I can slide these out like that. So now I just have to build top supports, which is the same idea as these corners. But my issue is that the top's curved, and it's really difficult to make it a right angle and then to also curve it. So to figure this out, I decided to make a bunch of these very small right angles, and basically I'm going to take two. We're going to have one close to the back and then another one closer to the front, and since they're so small, I don't have to worry about the curvature of it, because there's enough of a small area where it's flat on both sides. So I'm just going to make 8 total. Alright, just before I put the small tabs on the top, I decided I wanted to edit how it looked, how the standing plate looked. So originally this corner would stick out a lot and it always bothered me. So I decided to trim it down, and that's what it looks like on the other side that I've trimmed compared to original. I think that side looks a lot more sleek. This one, this bit is what makes it so obvious that there's something here. And the point of me doing this in clear was to make this very not noticeable. Finally, I've got all the pieces put in, top and bottom. And now the last step is to drill 2 holes and put some bolts in. But I don't have any hardware with me, so we gotta make a run to the store. And I wanted these to be removable in case I ever wanted to remake these, because these have gotten really scratched up and stuff. And I thought about maybe cutting a new piece and then making a design in the center. But that's for the future. Right now, I just need it to be functional and look decent. This side slides out really nicely and goes in really nice as well. I lined this one up pretty good. Alright, that's gonna be it. Looks pretty good. Hopefully this should last a lot longer. I think it looks better than before when we used the glue, and it's very, very sturdy. Now I can shut this trunk and it won't move. Before it would flex like crazy up and down. I got pretty small bolts because I didn't want them to be super bulky looking. These are M6s and they're 20 mil long. They're a bit too long. I wanted them to be flush, but I was just guessing the length in the store, and it's not terrible. I might cut these down in the future or just get shorter bolts. Here's what it looks like from the front. I like it a lot better having these front pieces shaved down. So before they would go up to here and it just didn't look as good. This looks a lot cleaner. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm really hoping that these wing stands last a lot longer and they will stop my wing from flexing, because I was so scared that this was gonna like just rip off on the highway or something. For the past like 2 weeks while I've been doing this, I haven't been driving on the highway, just like as a precaution, but now it should be okay. So thanks again for watching and see you in the next one.